Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss some model answers for your coming mains 2017 for Indian Society paper. So today I'll be discussing one question and what are the mistakes that usually students make while writing an answer, and I'll discuss all the parts of the answer, how to hit the answer, how to get the concept correctly, and how to write a decent answer to score a decent mark. And at the end of the thing, I'll be discussing what are the do's and what are the don'ts that you have to do, or you have to keep in mind the points that while writing an answer. So the question reads like, rapid urbanization and sustainable development do not go together. Discuss with arguments. And the word limit is 200 words and the marks is 12.5 marks. So here, if you see the question, it talks about rapid urbanization and sustainable development. So these two are the key concepts that you have to write about. But this is only the half portion. If you read the entire question, it says like, rapid urbanization and sustainable development do not go together. Means here you must write whatever the arguments that you are giving to prove this statement. It must show that these arguments, they are showing that sustainable development and urbanization, they are not mutually exclusive and they don't mutually happen, and if they are happening, the utmost care has to be taken. Right. So coming to the that three parts of the question has to three parts of the answer has to be there when you are writing an answer. The first is introduction, the body of the answer, and conclusion. So in introduction, now how you have to start the question. Now the two concepts are rapid urbanization and sustainable development. So before starting the question, you must know these concepts of what is rapid urbanization means urbanization, and means rapid means a fast pace of urbanization, and sustainable development. So you can start your answer saying that urbanization, urbanization is needed, it's needed and it's inevitable, right? You can't deny urbanization in today's world. We need urbanization. Urbanization is needed for the development of our society, for the progress of our society. So you can't, it's inevitable, it's needed for the development of society. But rapid, in the introduction itself you have to write how rapid and ruthless urbanization, it will lead to, or it will go against the principle of sustainable development. Because that sustainable development means judiciously using the resources of the present time so that you can even conserve it for, without harming that resource for the future generation. So if we are using ruthlessly the current resources, or what the resources we have got, we won't be able to save it for our future generation. But we have got the responsibility to leave it for them also. So the environment we have inherited from our ancestor, we have to pass it on as it is to our next generation. That is what the sustainable development means. So here you can say that this ruthless and rapid urbanization, it goes against the principles of sustainable development, and it does not only affect the environment, it affects the entire human society. So about affects environment and human society both. Right? So this could be a decent way to introduce to the question, to introduce the examiner about the question. Now with this, the examiner knows that now you are thorough with the topic, what is urbanization and how sustainable development and rapid urbanization want to go together. Coming to the second part of the question, that is the body of the answer, what is the, here you have to write the main arguments that you have to make for the question. So you can write about like how rapid urbanization, so you have to validate your points, you have to substantiate your argument that they don't go together. So the first argument you can make in this direction is the depletion of, or the fast depletion of resources. But the mistake here, generally what candidates make is, they'll write just the effects of rapid urbanization. They won't link it to the how it is affecting sustainable development. So you here only writing the effects of rapid urbanization, it is not the demand of the question. The question is saying that they do not go together. So this point you have to confirm that how it is not going with sustainable development. So you have to show if the fast depletion of resources is happening, it will lead to scarcity of resources, and this scarcity of resources, it will lead to poverty, and then poverty will lead to many other problems like malnutrition. It will lead to illiteracy, population explosion. So here you can say, and this, if these things happen, this scarcity of resources, poverty, malnutrition, illiteracy, which are all linked to each other, obviously they will they will pose a threat to the sustainable development, that we are not able to save the resources for our future generation, and we are creating a a environment, a society, a poor society or we are leaving out a poor society for them. So this one point you can make it here. Then the second argument you can make, degradation of environment, right? Degradation of environment. The degradation of environment means the global warming is happening, different kinds of pollutions are there, air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, so different kinds of pollution is there. So again it is again sustainable. If we are degrading the environment, what we have got from our ancestors, we are not giving as it is to the we have responsibility to give as it is to the future generation, but we are making it more polluted, we are increasing the temperature with that, and that are the effects of urbanization or the ignoring the needs of sustainable development. So this could be one of the argument, and you can show that it does not go together, it does not go along the lines of sustainable development. Then the third argument you can make, like emergence of new diseases, right? That there is, if there is no proper waste disposal mechanism is there for radioactive elements or any IT waste material, so these all threat, it causes a kind of pollution nearby, land pollution and everything, and from there different diseases born out which affect our health, and so we are polluting our surrounding with this, which are making more vulnerable to the diseases. So that is again, it's not the surrounding is, we are degrading the surrounding, and we are not making the surrounding sustainable. We are not leaving the same surrounding what we got from our forefathers for our future generation. It shows that it is going again against the principles of sustainable development. Now, like the fourth argument, you can see that with the rapid urbanization, we have seen there is a problem of emergence of slums. And then rehabilitating these slums, we need a lot of effort is needed. So this is again making the urban setup a unsustainable urban setup. So this is again one of the problems. The more urbanization, rapid urbanization is happening, and for that migration is happening, and we don't have enough space to accommodate all those extra migrants. So this makes the environment, especially the urban setup, unsustainable setup. So this again goes against the sustainable development principle. So here you showed with the arguments that rapid urbanization or ignoring the demands of the future generation, if the development is happening at this fast pace, it goes against sustainable development principle. Now coming to the conclusion part. In conclusion, you can write about that we have a big, very large goal, what we call as sustainable development goals, and India, it's a signatory to this sustainable development goals. So it's not only about saving our environment, it's not only about for our sustainable development, but India has also some commitments and responsibility or some promises to keep in the front of international platform, and for that these taken the rapid urbanization has to go hand in hand with sustainable development. So in conclusion, you can write, since India is a signatory to SDG, it has to if these things are taken care of, it will be fulfilling India's commitment and India's promises, what it has done to the international organizations, right? So one thing you can write in conclusion. Then you can quote some solutions that what you will be doing, or suggestions like how you can make rapid urbanization go hand in hand or go along with the lines or principles of sustainable development. Like you can write about proper city planning. You can give examples of of Chandigarh, Amravati, how they are being planned, right? So proper city planning is one of the things to manage the urban setups and the problems arising out of this rapid urbanization. Then when the policies are made for the urban areas or the urban cities, the care must be taken for the most vulnerable section of the society. For like example, if it is a disaster prone area or the city like Chennai, when the planning is made for the city planning for Chennai, the poor population or those population which are most or who are residing on the coastal areas, there they must be considered, their demands must be considered before the policy makers. So these things the policy makers or the governance part has to take care for to go rapid urbanization with the sustainable development. Then again the different, like you can quote some government initiatives also. Like government in recent years, it has come up with many government initiatives like Smart City Mission. Then we have Amrut or Atal Mission for Regeneration of Urban Areas. So these initiatives you can quote like it's a good move from the government side to to make urbanization and sustainable development go hand in hand. So these things you can write as a conclusion. The benefits of also you can write, so here the conclusion parts includes, you can write about India's commitment to SDGs, then the proper city planning, few solution you can give like city planning, policy making, government initiatives, and then at the end you can write what are the benefits of, like in just a single sentence you can write, doing this our future will be more secure, what the future will be handing over to our next generation, it will be more pure, more sustainable, and more long lasting. So this is this is the way how you have to handle a question, or so now coming to the do's and don't part, what you have to keep in mind before writing a question. Coming to the do's part, what you have to do. So when you are reading a question, read it very, very carefully. Means each and every keyword you must read and you must be careful about it. Like just don't write about only one-sided. Like you just read about rapid urbanization and sustainable development. Now you think that okay, like a few candidates they'll think that okay, we have to write about how negative aspects of urbanization. No, it is not. Here it is not asked in the question. It is asked like why this rapid urbanization and sustainable development, they can't go together. So here you have to read the question properly so that you can write the answer correctly. And while writing, the second point is that you must write about the key concepts. In the in the introduction part itself, you must introduce about what is the idea about, what is the question is all about. So a bit in 3-4 lines or 2-3 lines you can write what is the question all about and how you are going to write in the body of the answer, that you can introduce. That as the do's point. Coming to the don't part of the answer writing, it's that first you need not write whatever you think you know about the topic. It's not about your knowledge, it's about what has been asked in the question. So what is the demand of the question, you have write exactly what is there in the what is asked in the question, not your knowledge, what you have gained from, or your the basic knowledge that you have about the topic. You need not write, you should avoid writing that thing. You should exactly hit the question what is being asked. And then you should not always don't write the peripheral points. Always try writing the core thing, what you know about the concept, or which could suffice your arguments, which could substantiate your arguments. So don't write the peripheral points. That will be a wastage of time plus a wastage of your word limit, because you know that you have restricted time and 200 words only, and in that only you have to convey your ideas. So only write core points. Don't write whatever you know about the question. Write exactly what is being asked in the question, and read the question. Each and every word in the question has got its significance, and give that respective significance to each and every word. Then only you will be able to write a very correct answer. and that is what's all needed in the UPSC examination. That's all. Thank you.